everybody, welcome back to another weekly market review for F45 trading. This week we're discussing May 3rd to May 7th. So we have already got one full quarter and a month in the bag, and working halfway through second quarter already. Well, how time flies. So this week, as of last week, same as last week, I should say, is we got NFP and we got some major economic news on the horizon. So I would recommend that you have the majority of your trading out of the way and trades completed by, I'd say, no later than Wednesday. Typically, Thursday before NFP doesn't do a whole lot. It normally just kind of goes sideways in anticipation and build up for the NFP Friday. So just looking at the economic calendar real quickly here before NFP, we do have a fairly busy Monday. We've got ISM manufacturing for the dollar and Fed Chair Powell speaking, and then we've got an Aussie rate statement. Now, as of now, so far, all of the monetary policy releases for euro, cable, or the pound sterling, US dollar, Canadian dollar, all those interest rates have remained unchanged. So they're obviously not predicting any movement in that area. Also for the Aussie, so we'll probably just be maintaining the status quo for the next foreseeable future. But keep in mind there is a lot of buzz around raising interest rates to curb inflation, and so don't be surprised if towards the end of this year they start hinting at that and maybe even coming out with a few interest rate hikes. So nothing to speak of on on Tuesday so far. That could change, so just keep your eyes peeled. And then Wednesday we've got some pretty heavy economic news drivers. Obviously we've got ADP non-farm employment change in ISM services and crude oil for US dollar. We've got Governor Macklem speaking for the Canadian dollar, and then we've got the pound sterling. We've got a monetary policy release for them as well too. So we've got official bank rate of, and they're going to probably more than likely hold the same as well as Aussie and the other ones. And then we've got unemployment claims, which should move the markets quite a bit. New York open for Thursday, so watch for that. And then we've got an RBA monetary policy statement for late in the day on Thursday as well too for Aussie. And then Friday, obviously, we've got NFP. So we've got a pretty heavy month in terms of economic news, so just be very careful. Like I say, Monday and Tuesday are probably going to be the best days to pick a trade. After that, we're probably going to get fairly volatile, and markets could pretty much do whatever they want to do, really. So just be careful, especially be careful trading the Australian dollar before Monday's rate statement, and be very, very careful trading the pound, anything related to the pound up until, what day is that? Come in on Thursday, okay? So like I say, I think this week the best opportunities are going to be Monday, Tuesday, and wrapping everything up on Wednesday, and I don't want to be trading anything too late in the day on Wednesday. So we'll see how that day kind of shapes up, but I definitely think between now and Wednesday are going to be the best time. So we'll see how that pans out for the week. Getting into the charts, we've had a fairly substantial reversal in the dollar. Had a very nice decline in here since the end of March. Basically, all of April was a down month on the US dollar. Ran these lows like I expected them to, and ran these lows here like I expected them to, and we dipped back down. I was wanting them to come down a little bit deeper. 92.25 was my target, but basically anything within this shaded box I felt was a fairly good target for the downside on the dollar. And we did hit that. We saw a price dip in down to 90.38, so pretty close. I was only about 8 pips off, so not too bad. 10 pips off, so not too bad. I was expecting a little bit deeper. We'll see if they want to do that here this week. What I'm anticipating happening is price to pop above, and I better drag this out just a little bit. So I'm anticipating price to pop above these highs in here that we've got from a couple of weeks back. These two highs right there. So I'll drag that up there. that's where I'm expecting price to go. I'm looking for them to shoot above and then see if they want to get back through this last consolidation area in here. If they don't, then I'd be expecting another punch to the downside. But so far, we have broken through, the major level that I was looking for. I was hoping that price, and it did last week, I mentioned to my members, and unfortunately, I apologize, I did not get a video off to everybody on my YouTube channel, the free version, because I had some major computer issues last week, and I basically had to reset all of my charts and everything else. And so, unfortunately, I apologize to everybody. But to all my members, you would have known price was sitting in here this time last week, and I said I wanted to see price drive up into this consolidation area and then drive back down into this area here. And that's basically exactly what we got. We had the low of the week set on Thursday, and then we had a huge reversal, a bigger reversal than I was expecting actually on Friday, to bring it all the way back up into here. We've got these levels up here, and so that price comes in about 91.45. Probably the 91.50 area is somewhere where you'd probably want to pay attention to. We may see price dip down, so I'll drag this over here. This is the daily, so make sure you're watching this. Sorry, my chart's bouncing around a little bit here. Gotta love MT4. Before they take these highs, I'd be interested to see if they want to drive it back down and touch the candle wicks in here before it drives up there. If not, then I think what's going to happen is we'll probably drive up here, probably fail at 91.50, and then start to head lower. But if it doesn't, just as the heads up, this could certainly be an interim swing low, and they may not come back down to this area for a little while. So just keep that in mind. Just because price is traded above here doesn't mean it's just running for stops and it's going to drive down immediately after. We got to break this level in here. So really, 90.65, put that on your charts, and if price, as long as price stays above 90.65, I think we're probably going to stay up into this range here. What I'd like to see personally is them drive price up into here, reject just as quick, and then start running down again. If you do not see that, though, I would have a look at this consolidation here, because we could try to run above that there if it doesn't. So, again, lower target was achieved. We could drive down later this week, but I expect them to clean this area up in here before we do. Watch this consolidation area and see what they want to do in here. If we start punching up past 91.50 and punching up into this range, that I would expect them to probably run price up to the 92 level. So right about in there, okay, if we get through there. So watch this level here. Whatever this consolidation is on your chart from April 14th to the high of April 19th, watch that, okay? EurUsd had an exact same range. Now, it's interesting, Euro actually ran a lot higher to the upside than what the US dollar ran to the downside. So if you can see here, US dollar ran and just kind of briefly touched off the highs into here, whereas EurUsd, we really punched higher. You can see the high here from last Thursday. If you drag it out, we got actually back into the bodies of these candles here, where US dollar failed to do so. So a lot of strength on the euro. I'm not, again, suggesting that we're going to see price roll over and come all the way back down, but I would anticipate a bit of a retracement. So again, corresponding equal highs on US dollar are right in here. We're almost close to them now. And on EurUsd, that would be these lows right here. So you can grab your line there, drag it across, and that's definitely going to be the target, I think, going forward here for Wednesday. Now, we got to watch and see what we do in here. If price starts driving below this consolidation area in here, then I think we're probably going to see the price on EurUsd come all the way back to 119.20s. 119.20, 119.40, somewhere in there. So we're about 100 pips from that right now. I think it's very reasonable, though, for them to expand lower. And if you look as well, too, if you take a fib from the low to the high, obviously a 72% retracement level to 79% retracement level would be just a normal retracement and still have price continue bullishly or bullishly continue into the summer for EurUsd. So we could have maybe a week of this NFP drive price lower on EurUSD, only for price to reverse next week or into the following week and then punch higher and have a bullish finish to the month of May. So just keep that in mind. You know, that's a little ways out from now, so it's a little bit too far to predict that. But watch this level in here and then watch this level here. If this level gets broke, that would be my target to the downside on the week, and then we'll see when price gets back to this consolidation level if they want to drive lower. And it all depends, of course, on US dollar. Do we drive through this level or reject and go lower? If that happens, then you'll probably see EurUSD possibly run this low, drive back into this level here, reject, and then we can target higher prices. So it all just sort of depends on how this week opens up. Okay. GBP, be very careful with this one. Again, we have interest rate announcements for all GBP pairs on Thursday. This 140.10 level up here, I think, is going to be a target going forward. This has been fairly bullish, so very, very bullish. We've hit a little bit of a consolidation in here for the past 2 months after we had this massive push up on cable. And you can see corresponding bullishness on EurUSD didn't really match. We were certainly bullish. Price did run, but I definitely think that the run to the upside was in EurUSD that you wanted to pay attention to. Price really sold off, and it basically just swept down almost 2 weeks of trading on Friday to knock all of those traders out, ran back into these old highs right into there, and now we're sitting and waiting. So to be honest with you, I'm not anticipating a lot until Thursday. I think probably just see price sort of banging sideways for the next couple of days until that interest rate decision, and then I think we'll probably see price on GbpUsd at 140.10 or higher. To finish off this week, or maybe into next week. We see these lows down here. We came down once, came down twice, just ran these, and then expanded quite quickly to the upside. I don't anticipate them coming below this low in here. So if you see price really running lower through these areas here, then that could be the target that they're looking for. So just keep that in mind if we see any lower prices. But I think there's a very good chance we're going to consolidate here, and then ultimately I think the move will be higher on GbpUsd. Okay, so watch for that one this week. But again, I wouldn't be touching this pair until after that monetary policy statement comes out Thursday morning. Australian dollar, this one's been a bit of a mess as well. So we had some targets that I had pinpointed to the upside here being one, and then this target in here that we ultimately got. It dropped down to a smaller time frame, and I'll show you the candle here on Thursday took out these highs there, and it immediately sold off. I think we're probably going to run under these lows here and drive back down to the 76.75 level, or return back to this consolidation level in here. Now, again, we'll have to wait and watch and see. Does dollar drive past this area up into here and get up to the 92s? If that happens, then we're probably going to try to sweep these lows under here. But if you look at the price action on Aussie, again, very, very bullish. A little bit of stagnation in here. Price came down and really jammed below that low right there. So in my opinion, they don't need to come back lower again for these areas in here. All the traders who were long in here have been stopped out, and price returned to the upside, but they're really just holding this into consolidation until the US dollar, makes up its mind and does what it's going to do. I think ultimately we're probably going to see Aussie running higher and punching above these old highs in here. But until we start to get that downward momentum happening again in US dollar, nothing's going to happen on Aussie. So just keep that in mind. We're going to have to wait and see. And plus we have an interest rate announcement coming out tomorrow as well. So after tomorrow, we could see them drive this thing down. If we don't see them go through this consolidation area in here, then they're probably going to pop up and make another run higher. And there's that stop run I was talking about above these equal highs here, right there on Thursday. And then price sold off accordingly going into Friday's trading. So again, want to see if we could possibly sweep these lows down here, run back into these old highs, and then bounce and then make a run possibly for this guy and maybe up into here. But I think that'll happen probably later in the week once US dollar finally decides on its directional bias for the rest of the week. And UsCad, last pair I'm going to analyze here for Forex. So this thing has really sold off. you can see this guy here is just about rivaling this old low here from back in 2000. Actually, was it January? Yep, January 28th, 2018. We haven't seen price this low on UsCad. And actually, this is a very strong Canadian dollar that is causing price to drive lower like this. So I think what we're probably going to see is they're going to run this low here or come very, very close to it and maybe even make an equal low. I'd personally like to see them come just below it and then reject and go higher and start coming back up into this range again here. If you look at the difference, we had a big sell-off on dollar, but the last 3 days, or 2 days, I guess, from last week have been bullish on US dollar, whereas UsCad, you see that, I mean, price just kept falling off and falling off. It didn't want any of that bearishness, bullishness on dollars. So definitely not correlated. We've got some levels up in here that have got my interest, but that's a long ways away. I've been talking about those for a little while. I don't know if we're going to run those or not, but I definitely think price is very overextended to the downside, and this pair is definitely due for a little bit of a retracement, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a nice healthy run higher, even up to this low in here or these lows in here on this week. If it gets higher than that, we'll have to wait and see what dollar does, obviously, to compare notes, but I think we're probably going to see some upside. But before we get there, what I'd like to see them, this is that old weekly low back here at 122.45. I'd like to see them come down to that, maybe touch off of it, maybe even just run it just slightly and then reject and go higher. So we'll see if we get that on UsCad, excuse me. Not a great pair to trade, though, to be honest with you. I haven't really been watching a lot of this pair for about the past month and a half because of this terrible consolidation. This thing's just banging around in here with really no direction at all. Meanwhile, all the other pairs are trending very, very nicely, and UsCad is just consolidating, probably, gathering shorts, obviously, to drop price down into here. But not a fun pair to trade, so I really haven't been doing anything with it until late, and I think we're probably going to have a couple of decent trading ranges for UsCad. So we'll watch this pair going forward. It also had an interest rate decision last week, and they, like everyone else, chose not to raise their rates, as I mentioned. So we will see what they want to do here this week during NFP, but I think we're probably going to see price, whether it comes down to this low or not, and then runs through. I'd like to see it run through and then do something like that. So we'll see what we get on UsCad. Wrapping it up quickly here, we had another little punch on crude oil. Again, not a great pair to trade or market to trade as of the past 6 weeks or so. Had a nice run up into here, and then it consolidated and then dropped and really consolidated for better part of half a month. Little pop out, right to a consolidation again, and a slight dip, and then we had only really this last week a couple of nice up days in there. And to be honest with you, I wanted price to swing below. You see these 1, 2, 3 lows down in here? We didn't get that. We just saw price expand to the upside out of the blue here. Got a couple little trades in this range in here just for a run above that high last week with our members. But other than that, it was really a fairly ugly, past few months trading, or past, 6 weeks or so trading on crude oil. So nothing in here that I'm like, we got to get in on. We just ran this high in here, so I'm expecting them to probably drop price. I would like to see if we could get down below the 60 mark, running below these lows here, and then we'll see what they want to do there. We have some major lows under here. Look at all these lows here, here, that I think that they're going to eventually try to stretch towards. But until we stop breaking new highs, obviously we're staying up in this range. So we may not get down here this week. Price could stay bullish. If it is going to stay bullish, I would probably suggest that they will probably going to defend this area, and then we could see them pop it to the upside. So if price stays above 63, then I think there's a very good chance where we could run this old high out in here and possibly run up to the 67 level. So watch for that on crude oil. And finally, gold has been going absolutely nowhere. Gold and silver, actually. I just haven't loaded my silver chart after all of my settings got reset there. But it's just been a slow push to the upside. 2 days in here, middle of April, that were, you know, decent trending days, and then really price has done absolutely nothing since. So, you know, probably waiting for NFP. I won't be doing anything with gold or silver markets until after Friday, and then we get kind of the monthly range set in and directional bias put in for the month of May. So watch for that. And that's about it, guys. Take it easy this week. If you are going to trade, like I say, make sure you're in and out of the markets from Monday to Wednesday and call it a day. Lots of interest rate decisions out there. Lots of high impact news volatility that's going to drive the market, so be careful. And good luck this week. To all my members, I will see you guys in the chat room tomorrow, as always. And to everybody else, I hope you have a great, successful week, and we will catch up to you next Sunday's recording. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and share this out to your network. I would really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.